Don't allow them to string you along by spending tons of time with you on the phone, texting you all day, wanting to FaceTime you. It's important that you try to meet them as soon as possible so you don't feel like you've invested or you've given too much before even knowing whether or not you're going to like this person. And they're not sort of getting things from you, like your attention and your time, without actually meeting you. Good morning, gorgeous. How are you ladies doing this morning? I hope you're all doing wonderful. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Daff. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here for the Dr. Daff Show, where I'm answering your questions. Today, I have a question about online dating, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, I want to introduce you to my fragrance line, Fine Forever. It's a fragrance with a promise. It's super feminine, super beautiful, and I would love for you to support me by visiting my website and purchasing $29.11, the fragrance. So go ahead and sit back, relax, get something to drink, get something to write with, and let's talk about this. Today's question is from Brisala, and she wants to know about finding a good man online. Good day, Dr. Michelle. I hope you're doing great. First of all, thank you for your work and your efforts. Thanks for helping us all heal. I want to know what your opinion is about online dating platforms. Do you think it can be used as a helpful tool to find a good man? Thank you and bless you. Thank you for your question. I get this question a lot about online dating and whether or not it's a suitable place to find a good man. And the short answer is absolutely, but there are some sort of caveats and things that are important to know about online dating. So when we talk about online dating, it could be like a dating app, a dating service that you're paying for, or it could even be Instagram or Facebook, or just an online platform where you've just never met that person. All of that really is considered online dating. Now, the great thing about online dating is that you can browse through people, right? You can browse through these men and sort of look at their profiles and see whether or not what they're saying and maybe even how they look fits who you are and what you want in your life. However, the other side to that is, of course, they're doing that with you. So you do lose some of those like sort of nuances that you get with dating and meeting someone, you know, at a party or at a restaurant. Typically with online dating, there might be some things that the man may think about you before meeting you. Like some men sort of assume that if a woman is dating online, she may be desperate and not be able to find someone in person. So they may feel like they can kind of discount you in some ways. And then also, when you're dating online, you're putting so much out there in terms of who you are, what you want, what you like, that they're getting a lot of information up front. They're not having to dig or explore. They may even be able to tailor their responses to what you've written. So you do lose a little bit of that mystery. So it is important that if you do choose to date online, that you do not lower your standards. Whatever you would expect from a man that you met at the grocery store should be the same thing that you expect from a man that you meet online. So if they're saying things like, let's go on a date, but just for coffee, or let's FaceTime for an hour, things that you may not be comfortable doing, do not accept it just because you met online. You're not any less than because you chose to meet them online, and they should not treat you that way, and you should not allow yourself to be treated that way. Now, when you do date online, a lot of times there are men that will sort of try to get things from you a little sooner. So maybe they will spend a lot of time texting you and calling you on the phone for hours before meeting you. So my advice would be that you meet these men as soon as possible. Don't allow them to string you along by spending tons of time with you on the phone, texting you all day, wanting to FaceTime you. It's important that you try to meet them as soon as possible so you don't feel like you've invested or you've given too much before even knowing whether or not you're going to like this person. And they're not sort of getting things from you, like your attention and your time, without actually meeting you. Now, sometimes people will like to FaceTime just so you can see if this person is, a little bit odd or has some quirks that you may not even want to deal with an actual date. But again, being in this century, this is the most common way that a lot of people are meeting. And it's normal to be able to go on a date with someone you don't know and figure out on the date whether or not you're going to see them again. Now, sometimes men will ask to maybe FaceTime you so that they can see what you look like. And I sort of think that's like a weeding out process. Maybe they just want to see if you're pretty enough or if you look like your pictures. And again, you do not have to do that. That's something that is totally up to you. If you'd rather wait to meet them in person, then go ahead and do that. And also, because you're online and you're sharing so much on your profiles, it's important that you save some things for the meeting. So if they're wanting to text you and ask you a bunch of questions and you just don't feel like giving them all that information, you can just say, I'll tell you when I see you, or we can talk about that when we go out. Okay, you don't have to give them so much on the phone. And also, in terms of just being feminine and, keeping things to yourself, make sure that you don't feel intimidated by these men when they're asking you personal questions that you maybe are uncomfortable with. A lot of times men online may want sex. That's all they're looking for. And they may ask you questions that are inappropriate. And that's also good for you to know when they do that. Like, okay, is this someone I even want to meet if they're asking me these inappropriate questions over the phone? Okay, this is a time for you to make sure that you're upholding your standards and you're not giving them a pass because you've never met them. Okay, it's actually more important now, since you haven't met them, to be extra cautious and make sure that they're showing signs that they're someone who's respectful and they are a high quality man. Now, in terms of your question as to are there any high quality men online, if it's a good place to meet a man, absolutely. Okay, there are men that move from state to state and maybe they don't know anyone and they don't have an opportunity to go out, and so they use online as a way to meet people. There are men who maybe just work a job where they're just extremely busy at this time in their life, or they're not social in terms of having a lot of friends that are going out. Maybe their friends are all married and they don't have an opportunity to just go out and meet women. So they use online dating as a way to be able to meet people. There are different men with different things going on, and I don't think they should all be discounted as like losers or socially awkward. But you will find a lot of those men online as well. Okay, there are lots of men online who use it for other reasons as well. Trying to get sex. Maybe they're already in a relationship and they want an emotional relationship with a woman. They just want someone to talk to all the time and have this like friend. And it's very inappropriate. Some men use it because they really don't have any social skills, and it's a way to sort of get through without having to show themselves. So you're going to have to use your judgment and your wisdom and your discernment, and of course, pray about things and make sure that you feel comfortable, but know that it is a great place to meet people. There are so many people who have met men online who they've ended up marrying, who are wonderful men. And I think that it's a great platform in addition to just being open to the everyday man that you meet on the street. So I hope that that answers your question, my dear. Make sure that if you are online, whether it's Instagram or a dating website, that you're presenting yourself as a beautiful feminine woman, that you're being modest online, that you're not showing yourself in ways that would attract the kind of men who you do not want. Okay. So you're not being explicit online and you're not showing anything that shows that you want or, you will accept any kind of treatment from a man. As long as you're doing that, it should be good for you. And I hope that you meet a wonderful man. If any of you ladies have a question for me, then look in the information box below and you can find out how to send me a question I can answer here on the Dr. Daff Show. Have a wonderful day. I love each and every one of you. Bye-bye.